Good morning. Can you hear me? Test 1, 2. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? To make sure that this one works before I continue. Yes, okay, great. I do hope that somebody got this move yesterday. It came very close to what entry I said, but I'm gonna explain also why it didn't came to my entry, what actually happened. So I wanted to see it come, I believe it was here somewhere. I wanted to see it get entered. So, first of all, I'll go over everything. I'll explain what happened, what we should have done, what can happen if you were trading this afternoon without me in the morning session. So we had a break of structure to the upside right here, and this was not a retracement actually. This one was actually the retracement. That means once I drew my fib tool from this area, we actually were not correct yet because this one was higher. That means that we actually needed to put our fib tool higher. And if we can see, if I made this one clear, we actually almost came back to that 72 level, 62 level. So that was a very clean take of liquidity, and that was a beautiful retest of this break of structure. This one is not a break of structure. If you counted this one also as a break of structure, you do need to have displacement. So this only came like a few points above. So this was not a break of structure, and this was not a retest of that move. So this was a sideways movement, just taking some partial liquidity before we could move lower. At open, actually, I believe that was open, that the market just flushed down and immediately in 5 minutes it came back up. Yeah, here we can see it clearly. I'll zoom in a little bit. So here we can see clearly we moved down like in 5 minutes. In the next 5 to 10 minutes, we actually came back up. If you were not in time, say that you came online just a little bit later and the market already was, say, right here, you could just enter this straight off of here and put your stop at a low. The reason why is because if the market makes a huge V shape back out of a zone, that means we got tapped and we immediately got a reaction. That's just what I wanted to see yesterday too. Once we got tapped into a trade and we started hanging around here, I got stopped at break even. The reason why was I want to see this kind of movement. If we are correct and we have a nice clear movement in an action, we get this kind of shapement. And this is what we want to see. Same for ES, was beautifully. Let me go back to yesterday. What is yesterday's movement was? So same for ES, we did not fully come back. This was the high that we took. We came back into it, and I probably said that I wanted to see it go back. Which candle was it? This candle's low, or was it this candle's low? I said it was something in between here. I believe I seen it was a 5 minute too. Oh, it didn't. I think Fearless still knows which one I said. It was very close to our entry actually. It came from a few points off of it. And then again, if you see the same movement and you see that 5 minute shift back to the upside, like this is a huge displacement. We actually made a change in character right here already. So we had a down movement and immediately 5 minutes later, you can just jump in it. You don't have to wait for that retest. Jump in it, put your stop at that low and just ride with it and see how far we go. And don't overthink it. If you see this kind of movement, this is so strong back up that the market just said, okay, we just needed this internal liquidity to move the market back up. And this is just, again, same break of structure, upside, retest off of it. And then we have a continuation. And whether we had new break of structure, if we zoom out, this is actually the new break of structure because this was the last high that we had. And here we made that break of structure to the upside. That change in character already happened once we broke this high. So the second 5 minute, we actually made a change in character already. This is that change in character. Here we made a full break of structure to the upside. Actually, this candle only, but that's the same. For today, it looks like we're gonna go for all-time high. Maybe in the morning session in London, we move a little bit lower to take some liquidity, and then the rest of the day, I would not recommend to take any shorts. I would only recommend to long off of this trading session. We are so near. This is all-time high, by the way, so I drew it already on the chart. We are so close. There is no other way that we're gonna hit that today. So keep that in mind. All-time high is probably the next option. So this was that break of structure. This is that retest off of it. So the next break of structure of of Nasdaq was right here. So same here. We had again the same movement to the upside. And we can watch if this was a retest off of it. You don't need to take that wick with this one. This wick is way too far down, so you can just take it from the candle started impulse movement to the upside. So we barely missed it, so we didn't touch it yet. So this is not the retest off of it yet. We're just gonna continue. And we continued again. So we never came back actually. So if we take some liquidity right here, that would be a great sign that the market wants to continue back up. We don't need to take it all the way back to 26,191. I don't believe that will happen. Because the market, if we push 200 points up, just that open, that means that the market definitely is heading for liquidity, and the only huge liquidity pool that we have is all-time high right now. So any huge retracement that we have would be a nice indication that we can short off of it. We've been going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 15 minutes chopped market. We just took the highs of this choppy market. So there is a possibility that we start dropping a little bit right now. But this is chopped, so don't trade this until we see a clear movement. So we don't trade this liquidity pool. We stay off of it. We are still in this fair value gap to the downside right now. I'm going to explain also why. So this was a fair value gap to the upside. We actually tapped it here, and this candle's wick closed it off so that this doesn't count anymore. So we've been going sideways constantly, and we are still trading in this downwards fair value gap. Reason why is we never touched the highs, or actually this high. But in a 15-minute, we can actually see nothing. So this is still chopped. I will be patient until I see a clear direction in one way or another before doing anything. It already took all-time high on mass. Oh, how much did I miss with you, Veerle? I believe a point or three max. Yeah, if you are online and you see this, you can just jump into it. You don't have to be patient for that next retracement, because on all-time high, sometimes we never get that retracement back down. So any smaller retracement is also a good one to actually dare to jump into it. We take. Oh yeah, on yes we took hugely already. Yeah, but previous month was also an all-time high. On NQ that was not previous month. So indicating we are going up. I would definitely not recommend to short at any time. It will be a bit of a patient game right now until we see the direction where the market wants to head to. We got an hourly for value gap just below 2 of them actually. That means about an 80-point drop. That's definitely doable. But again, I'm not going to trade in longs unless I see us get out of this choppy market. And I would recommend for anybody that's trading would do the same. Even though there is a possibility that we go down further, I would still recommend to be patient until you actually see that movement happening. Don't start jumping in it from just straight open. That would not be smart. Just be patient. Gold made a new all-time high again. Silver is making a new all-time high, so we are actually at a good way. Uh, 2 points, that's nothing. Yeah, if you were online at that point and you saw the market came to you almost to your entry, you can just jump in. Don't let 2 points get to you for that entry. Especially not if we're trading for all-time highs. It's just because the market can do a little bit different. And second of all, also, if we are not online yet and the market already moved a little bit further up once we were not online, that means that a break of structure is a bit shifted too. So that means that if the market goes higher, so here we got some movement. Now I want to see how we act. That's if you learned your lesson, that's a great one. I hope you didn't want to short that market. So here we are making now a movement out of it. So I was expecting this. If we would trade the next 15 minutes back inside and we see a candle movement back to the highs, I'm going to long this because right now it looks like it wants to short. But I'm not a fan of shorting all-time highs. So again, I am really not a fan of shorting anything from all-time high. That would be the same if you wanted to short gold already. Look at this. If anybody would short gold in the last few weeks, I believe you did not make a lot of money. The all-time highs means that the market has no limit. That means that the market can just flush through everything. So try not to short all-time highs. Anybody new to all-time high trading, do not. Again, I repeat, only take longs on all-time highs. So we're now taking internal liquidity, all the internal liquidity that we have. The good thing is now that we actually, in this 15 minutes, we took the upper liquidity and the lower part of the liquidity. So we took everything. So in the next 8 minutes or something, I want to see what this candle does. Does this candle now fully retrace back inside? And that means that the market is gonna continue to the highs. But there is a huge possibility that this market continues to the high. Before I do anything, let me take a look if we have news today. Yeah, we have definitely some news coming up. We got FOMC statements this evening. Okay, this indicates that we can definitely have some sideways movements today. Can I ask, why did you short Fairly? I was not looking at chart. I should have been a little bit more concerned in the chart right now, because this was a great entry. This is what I was expecting. So after a sideways movement, we take the highs, we take the lower part, and then we continue actually to the movement that we want to. Do we get some form of a small retracement back into this? Let's see if we can take something, because I want to long this. This could be a very long. That sounded very funny. I'm not gonna trade yet. I do want to long this, so I'm gonna take a look if I can, how we can take this. I'm gonna be patient until this 4 minutes close, at least. I want to see how this next 4 minutes close and this 15-minute candle. Yeah, if we get a tap off of these candles, I want to long this actually. This looks way too nice. So sweep of liquidity, nice V-shaped recovery came into for value gap after a structural movement to the sideways movement. So this actually looks nice. Full and fungled candle too. How many minutes? We still have 3 more minutes in this 15-minute. I'm gonna still be patient until this 15-minute closes, and then I'm gonna long off of it probably if we get an entry. Yeah. So on all-time high, RSI doesn't work. I'm gonna explain how RSI you have to look. I know that if you trade RSIs, I'm gonna teach you how to use it today. Look, this is gonna be a game changer in how you think over the RSI. Let me go to that one. Look, I used to use this one a lot too, so I know how it works. Where is he? Huh. Here he is. So how do we use RSIs? If we are in a higher territory, I'm gonna go over this. This is something that you probably never heard before. This is why it's so important to know this. So it's not because we are above in this higher apartment that the market needs to change or shift direction. What is important? That is how the market is actually moving. So if we are making in a line direction, look at this, constantly higher. So this is a higher low, higher low, higher high, higher high. As long as we're making this go up higher, and also when the highs are constantly getting higher, that means that the market is still going up. The market is not retracing. Once you see this, the market is retracing. Let me see right here. So high, lower high, lower high. Again, we went down, lower high, lower high. And if you watch now the charts exactly on this level, you will see that the market is still moving a little bit up, but is gonna go lower slowly. And this way you know that the market is actually shifting. Look, here you will see we had lower highs created slowly. We were in up high and we made a new lower high. This means that the market is slowly shifting downwards. You can watch this in a 4-hour too. It's exactly the same movement that we have. But in a 4-hour, this is not yet overbought. Look, we are just now getting an overbought territory. Always watch the higher time frames to know where we are trading in. RSI is very handy on daily, weekly, and 4-hour chart. I would not recommend using it intraday because that's less accurate. If you want to use it intraday, I would recommend that you use the RSI Stosh. It's a different one, but this one is more intraday action. This is long-term action. I use the RSI to trade actually to do swing trades off because this is very accurate, especially in days, weeks. I'm going to give you a clean example of a daily, also how it actually shifted. So look, this was an overbought series right here. The market still went up. Look, it went up all the way to here. And this is how you actually could recognize that the market was shifting downwards. Look what we are having on the RSI. We are not having new highs. We're having the lower highs. That means that the strength of buying pressure in the market is reduced. And this is why we're having actually a lower high. And on the charts, we had a higher high. This is indicating that the market is potentially shifting direction because there is not enough strength to push the market even to the same high on the RSI. And this is 14 closes, so that means 14 days close average movement. If you want to use it intraday, look, this one was correctly also for intraday. I'm going to close this one off for a second. I use this one. The Stosh RSI, on the other hand, says sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy. So buy right here. What was exactly again the lows, and then sell again. This is what the Stoch RSI does. This is intraday trading. This one you can use this intraday any day. On the 15 minutes too. So every time we go down, it's a buy. Every time you go up, it's a sell. Does it work? Yes. Is it 100% accurate? No, it's not. So if this was that simple, That would have been very easy. But you can see this was the high, and in this area it started to move down. So we had a lower part. You could have said, okay, I'm gonna buy this and see what happens. We came back in, and now it's not yet shifting. Once these two lines shift each other, that means that the market is shifting back to the upside. Once they are breaching each other again, that means that the market wants to go down. Well, it's not a full 100% accurate exactly on the place what it is. That's trading. This is why I don't use indicators, because they are noise on my screen. I used to trade, I did use them, so I know how they work, but I prefer not to use them anymore. They're just noise on my screen that I don't like. And I will start entry again. Okay, I was talking too much. So this should have been entry. That was a tree. Who took this? I shown this on the chart already. Who took this? I hope somebody did. Come on. I want to see if we can hit this lower part. If we do, I'm gonna hit that with a half hour entry and long off of it. Because we made internally, look, this was a break of structure downwards on a lower time frame. We had a full retest off of it right here. So the market should tend to go a bit lower again and then see if we can catch this move back up. So on a lower time frame, you can do this just the same. So this was the move. What did we do? We came back to that 7-8 level into a fair value gap, or almost 7-8 level into a fair value gap. The market shifted a bit, so it should shift down back to this area. If we take that low, that means that the market is going to go further down. That we can short off a bit, of course. It was too much explaining. I hope you understand that a bit. Oh, great. No, that's okay. That's okay. That's my choice. I was the one explaining it to you. You never asked, so I'm okay by not having a trade. It's just a trade. I don't. Okay. I'm having fun doing this with all of you. This is why I like doing it. And I know there is always a new opportunity in trading, so I don't need to rush to do anything. We always have new opportunities. Every day we have trades, every day it looks good, so if I don't have them now, I will have one in an hour or something. That's fine too. And if this moves up to all-time high, I'm happy for somebody that jumped into it. And I do want to recommend for you too, Philip, try not to use the RSI too much. Try to see the chart itself, what it's doing. and zoom out enough. So don't watch the, look, if you do it like this, you don't see the small movements. So here you can clearly see which are new highs and which are not. So if we zoom out a bit, we can see, try to do this every time if you're not used to trying to do the highs and the lows, but this is something that everybody should do if you're new to trading. Because you have to know exactly, okay, this one I need it. Okay, I'll put this one off. So this is a low. So this counts as a high normally because we made a new high. So we went a bit down, so this counts as a low. This counts as a new high. Counts as a low. Counts as a new high. We did not make a low yet. So try to make sure that you see where the highs and the lows are. And the better it is to put it on a higher time frame, because look, if we just put it on a 15 minutes, look, we did not make lows and highs on this one. So I'll remove drawings, do it again. So try to do it on a higher time frame. The 4 hour is your base limit, it's your baseline. So the 4 hour shows you exactly where the market is headed to. And the 15-minute is your entry off of this. So this was the previous high that we made. This was a low. And now this is a high. There is no lows in between. So if we create a new low, it should come above this one. So we can come back all the way to here. But anything that we have a nice retracement, you will see a low forming. The previous one before that was this low. So here we had a shift in structure because this was a high. This one was lower. Yeah, then we had like a sideways movement for a long time. Not much to see about this one. And here we see actually that we made a change in character back to the upside. So we know now that the market is moving upwards in this area. So anything in between, there are no highs and lows. If you want to try to do this easier for yourself, if you're new to trading, just put the line chart onto it. It's even more clear. So high, low, high. You can say that this could be a low. We don't have those wicks, so this is new high. And then you can see further off. So congrats to anybody that took this long. I would take it at least. So this was the first candle to the downside. So this would be definitely a place where you can put your stop to break even and then let it ride at least to all-time high. Because this is actually a very impulsive candle. This shows that there was strength in the market, pushing the market in a direction. Yeah, same for a 4 hour. Look, we done here. We made the break of structure to the upside. So try to do this on your chart so that you actually, everybody, just try to do this. If you want to trade this system, it's necessary that you can see what I see to make it yourself a lot easier. And then we had this impulse move, and we never had a retracement of this move. So if we want to have a full retracement of this, we could come back all the way to 25,008. But at all-time high, I don't see that happen. So I would just long off of it. Every small retracement we have, long off of it, and make it a 5-minute break of structure constantly. Every time you have a 5-minute break of structure to the upside, move your stops with it, with the new low. So I can show it right here what I mean by that. So say that you entered on this drop. This was a new break of structure upside. Okay, great. We have a retracement. We have a new break. Put your stop immediately here on this level then. After this retracement, and we have a new break, then you can move your stop from this level to that level. Again, once we move up and we create a new one after retracement, okay, we should have been stopped right here instead of the market moved further. But that way, if the market takes out or wants to retrace a bit, that you are actually in profit immediately. Today can be a bit choppy. Again, the reason why is there's FOMC news coming out, and then the market can be choppy in London, especially after the 200-point move already up. So what see I happen in FOMC? I see FOMC go all the way down to like this area, a very strong spike down to like this area, then immediately have a flush back up. So at 3:30, this can happen. But the news was later probably. The news was at 8. Okay, so at 8 a.m. we have FOMC, and we have at 3:45 overnight rate. I have no idea what that is. That's a quarter before 4. So that means at 4 we have news, 4:30 we have red folder news, and at 8 we have red folder news. And at 8:30 we have red folder news again. So the afternoon and the night for us will be a volatile movement, and the previous volatile movement we already had. So look, at 1:30 a.m. for me, we had CPI also, and that's just why we actually had this move. So at 1:30, let me take a look what 1:30 is. So right here we had FOMC. Like you can see, this is quite huge candles, especially for the Asian markets. We have a small retracement into it and immediately push back off of it. So I'm not a fan of still doing anything right now. We're still in this sideways movement. Okay, we came down again. Okay, now I want to see what happens right here. If we stay above this one, and we have this candle fully come back up here, I'm gonna jump into it, and I'm gonna long. We cannot breach this low. If we do, I'm not longing. I'm gonna get myself a drink. It's gonna take another 2 minutes anyways, and we can see what happens. Okay. I cannot take a low. If it does, this market is going lower. The reason why I'm a little bit more careful today is because we have huge news and we're still trading in a side chopped market. And I really don't like this kind of market conditions. The good thing is that I have the patience not to do anything. And believe me, I've learned this the hard way. Not to do some stuff. I'm not gonna trade yet. I'm still looking what we can do because we took out our low one more time now. You can see it doesn't have that much strength to the downside. Constantly, once we breach a low, it gets bought back up. So I don't want to short actually. many points is this? 25. So if we hit this 3 minutes for value gap, we've got to short it, and I'm gonna take a half hour off of it. So I'm putting a limit order in this one. That's 26,292. It's a bit of a risky play because I'm trading against the major trend. We already swept it twice, so but I actually want to long from this hourly. So we have an hourly for value gap just below us. I want to long from that level. So this is a 2.8, so definitely doable. All for risk. Again, half our risk. Reason why against major trends, market swept twice liquidity, and we did have a small break of structure on a lower time frame to the loan side. So this would be a retracement off of it going back down. So what do we have? We had huge candle, bullish movement up. This was actually a break of structure, retest off of it. We had sideways, or we had the continuation. We had a sideways movement, came back. So if we tap this one, I would love to short down to this 1 hourly. Because from here off, I want long actually to autumn high. So that would be trading small retracements. If we don't get that tap, I'm not entering this. It's already too far down to enter it otherwise. Stops are at this candle's high. If this car continues to go down, yeah, I'm fine not entering it. Because we have a small void right here, so if we want to retrace, we can come back all the way up even to this level, to 303, 304. Have a nice day. I am at work. Very choppy price action, guys, so not really a fan of it. Gonna let it do its thing. If we get a hit, we're gonna short off of it. If it doesn't, let the market short itself. If you do short from these kind of levels, make sure that you take profit very fast. So if this gets hit and we got the reaction back to the downside, I'm putting my stop very fast to break even. I don't want to see this last 28 seconds that this candle hangs still stays here. If this comes all the way back to that order, that doesn't look good. And we're back in this choppy range. So this next 15 seconds, this candle needs to stay down here. Yeah, this is what I want to see. The reason why is if this candle now fully comes back up to that order where I'm actually putting it, it's not actually having any displacement downwards. Now it has that displacement that I want to see. This is what we need, displacement to move the market in our direction. Let's hope that we get that tap because we have like a 5 minute just above this area. Now just be patient. If the order comes to our entry, we have a great trade. If it doesn't, and you should look, if you want to jump into something, always make sure that you have a great R collected too. Because if you want to jump into this from this area, look, you only had like a 1.5, so it was not really a great trade. This is a nice trade. We can have at least 2.8, so that's definitely a good area to enter it. Doesn't matter if the market moves down right now. That means that we were just not in time to enter this on a good base. You can trade 1.4s, but you need a win rate like 1.4. I believe you need a win rate for 50, around 50% to get a nice profit out of it. If this moves without us, I'm not entering it again. I'm just letting the market do its thing. And I will be patient for that trade that actually shows us the market it's coming back up. Yeah, if this moves any further down, I'm even taking the limit order off. It's gonna be no use anyway. Morning, Dr. Wu. Yeah, I'm not gonna trade yet. I'm being patient until we get that tap right here to short off of it, but it looks like the market will head down without us or not with us. Azul says hello too. Yeah, this will move. This looks like it's ready to go. Nothing to do about it. Right now it's clean patience. I just want to see it hit this upper 3 minute for value gap, and we didn't get that tap. What was also 5 minutes? We just missed it by like a half a point. The good thing is if this 15-minute closes right here, we actually have a 15-minute for value gap too, so that looks great then. Yeah, he wants to go out. He always wants to take a walk, so yeah, the reason why I set my TP at this level is we have an hourly for Valley Gap. We got a few voids right here and one here, so we could come all the way back to this level and then have that shift, huge shift back up. Remember, it's FOMC today at 8 in the evening, so we will have some volatility. Then we already had a 200-point move up, so choppiness is more than normal. For sideways movements is more than normal too. Again, this is a half-hour trade, nothing more. So my idea stays the same. I'm gonna take that short anyways, doesn't matter how. It was a strong move back up already, but I still believe that we want to go to that hourly to take some liquidity and then move to the all-time high again. But this is definitely a very nice, strong 3-minute candle back up. So this is an impulsive move. Like I said, the market can definitely come up all the way to 26,304. So that could be an entry too that you couldn't take instead of this one. I've got to keep it where I put it mine. It would be nice in the next 20 seconds if this one drops a little bit more to go under this wicks, the body that it could be under it, and then the next 15 minutes we tap in that 15-minute Fairvalue gap. That would be great to see. And it still shows it has some strength to the downside. Okay, and now I want to see it hit the Fairvalue gap. I prefer to see it hit that Fairvalue gap in the first 7 minutes of the candle. The reason why is there is also always a wick, an upper wick and a down wick, and that upper wick is the best if it comes in the first 7 minutes. If the market continues down, all the way around, if it continues up. Is there an exact time you come online every day, John? Yes, there is an exact time that I come online. At this point, it's 9 o'clock my time, and that is Belgium time. So UTC 1 plus 1, 9 o'clock. And I do not come online every day. I do it three times a week. So Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Wednesday I come online, and I promised that I will give some info what I see in the market, and Thursdays and Fridays. So I'll give my overview around 9:15, what I see in the market, what I expect that the market can do right now. So we came into a 3-minute Fairvalue gap, so this should push us to our entry. That would be great to see. And then I want to see it immediately push back down. Like I said, if we get that tap of the entry and I see the market move downwards, I'm putting my stop rather fast to entry because I'm trading against the major trend. Great. Well, it's the first month that I only traded like 3 days a week. Normally we trade 5 days a week. So it would be lovely to see if it hits now that entry in the next minute and then immediately flush back down. If we don't get that tap, like I said before, I'm not entering anything. I do want to have that entry on that level, just because we have a great R collected then. I'm gonna get myself another drink in the meantime. If I got entered, the limit order is on the screen. This market is a little bit playful today. More news ads. Wat ik u al zei wat hij dan moet doen. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Yeah, I got interrupted. I also, okay, sorry. So you are getting into a schedule where you trade 3 days a week. Yeah. So I trade Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays always. And if I have time afterwards, I also trade after in the week itself. But most of the times I keep it now for 3 days. I'm actually having a full crew after it, getting ready for sales. So the the course that I made fully is getting into a sales team's hands, and I'm learning a lot in the last few days, and I don't have the time, or my brain doesn't have the capacity to do two or three things at the same time. So I need the mental rest from trading to be able to educate myself into something that I have never done before, and it's a whole new world. Selling stuff. Really, I have sold before, like cocoa and everything at a business had before, but this is something new, of course. I need to learn it, and it takes a lot of my mental capacity too. So this is why I'm only trading like 3 days a week at this point. If the sales part is done, should be done in about 4 to 6 weeks, and everything is scheduled and everything is put into place. I will be online more afterwards again. So this will be in about 6 weeks from now. Then I will do it 5 times a week or 4 times a week at least again. Maybe one time not, so that we have 3 days off and 4 times trading. Look, we had a great viewpoint where the market wanted to go to. We just didn't get that tap of that entry. Read the market correctly. We had patience until we had that displacement. After those 15-minute choppiness, we have displacement. We just didn't get that tap of that entry, that's all. And that can happen. That can happen multiple times. And you have to be okay with it as a trader. It's something that we cannot predict if it will have a retracement, yes or no. If it doesn't have that retracement, I'm just not trading. And now, once we swept this low, I said I wanted to see it hit this first 15 minutes. So we swept the low. I'm going to take a limit order off right now, because if we now move back up, we're actually going for all-time high. So I'm not going to try trading this anymore. So trade is going off. Just because we have swept the low, we have swept the low again. And if we now move in the next 3 minutes back up, we actually came back to that 6-2 level. And then the market can easily go back to all-time high. Good morning, Arjun. How are you? Yeah, this will go definitely to this level. It was a clean trade. Well, should have been a clean trade. Nonetheless. Still happy that I've seen what the market wanted to do. This is the most important thing, that you actually can follow those steps over and over again until you see what I see. Not sure that I will get a trade online in the next 20 minutes or something. This can go all the way back to this level. If we can come back to like 26,200 and we see a 5-minute shift to the upside, I would long off of it immediately. That would be amazing to see. Like on a 5-minute base, we came back up and this was that entry right on this level. So I didn't have it for 2 and 3 points, something like that. So sadly enough. Make sure that you also see what I can see, right? Look, this was the impulsive move to the upside. Look how slow this goes to the downside. So this is why we have to make sure, if you trade shorts when the market is moving up, once you can put your stop to break even and you see a small displacement, just put it there so that you are actually don't give anything to the market once you're trading against a major trend, especially in London. If you do this in New York and you see a huge displacement, yeah, you can jump into it because the force is in New York, of course, because we're trading New York stocks or New York commodities actually. I'm in or pre-order rally. Nice Sony headphones. Oh, nice, great. I am in an orb trade. The orb of 9 o'clock, Arjun. Pre-orb or what time frame? So I can say what your TP is. The 9 o'clock. Okay, great. I'll put it on the screen. So this was the 9:15. We came back. We broke it. So you entered here. Stops. Yeah, it should be here somewhere. So we should move. This is that hourly. What I'm aiming for. This is what I wanted to aim for. So you should be in this short. I believe you entered it. If you entered it on this one, I'm not sure. That came just about out of it. Or was it still in? 9:15. So this would be the candle. If you entered on this body, okay. So stop should be at this level. Would definitely put your stop at break even once we hit this hourly for value gap. We're very close by. My main idea that I would love to see it come is all the way down here. That would be great, between 2010 and 200. That would be the best spot for retracement back to the upside. But definitely once we hit that hourly for value gap, we have a 15-minute, 15 minutes into it. So I would definitely take a look right here. Once we have a strong push back up, I would take profit. But this needs to move at least to this level. So it's not going to stop until we hit this 1 hour for value gap. So this is that last displacement that we had. We are now hitting to that 62 level. So an hourly is actually just under it, and I believe we will hit this. So in this hourly, there is a potential that the market moves back. Where exactly? That's always a huge question. So but I'll follow along. I would follow along. So this still constantly looks like it wants to fall further. So let it do its thing. Yeah, if you took it on this candle's entry on a 5 minute at 9:55, I would not have even want to see it come back to that entry point. Even though we do have a 5 minute still left into it, I would not want to see it come back to that level. I do want to see it continue right here. Because we came back to fair value of price, and it should fall further. It can No, we don't have a half hour per value gap even there, so it should not come back. It should continue lower. Especially because you're trading against a major trend. That 5 minutes still open, so we can tap it and continue, but I would reckon not once we hit that 50 level already. So in the next 10 minutes, we should see this hourly for value gap get hit. And once we hit that level, I would just move your stop to this high. That's 282 you entered. It's 282, 282. Where are you? 282. Oh yeah, great. Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, I would not want to see it come back to that. I would put it a point under your entry so that you actually have don't pay any fees. So all the fees should be paid also, and just let it do its thing now. It should move further down. If we come back to that 15-minute for value gap, there is a huge possibility that we take out the full structure back to the upside. And then you don't want to be part of it. It's better to get out than to come back in at this level and put your stop at the same level. If this stops you out, you actually didn't pay anything. You only paid like 11 points. If you have to stop this took you for 35 points. So even though if you took like just a one contract into it back, if you can enter it from here and get to that same level, that gives you a 6 R. So that's way better than the entry that you got. So for everybody that ever shorts all-time high, it's always a risky play to do. UBS economic expectations. Okay, so we have UBS news. Yeah, and here we should see the next minute and a half the market push back down. Yeah, on a 2 minute base, we just see, well, what did we see? We just saw break of structure, retest, break of structure. Yeah, on a smaller time frame, we don't need a lot of points, retest, so we should see the market here continue down. It should not stop, it should actually flush through it. If you want to have that continuation movement downwards right now. So sadly enough today, I will not have a trade. Just want to be patient and see what we get, but there was nothing that we actually could have traded off. The only thing that I wanted was this area, but we already came below that 50 level, and I don't want to be in that trade anymore. I would rather be patient until we hit this level, to long off of it, than the other way around right now. Okay, in the meantime, I'm gonna do some other stuff while I'm being patient. If anybody has a question, it's a good time to ask right now. Before I get off, of course. Yeah, this looks like it wants to come back to your entry right now. We got about 2 more minutes. This next 2 minutes, this candle needs to drop immediately back over. We're gonna see it hit that entry. Yeah, this will hit your entry. I did not like this shift back up. Okay, I see there are no more questions for me, so I'll be going off right now. I am not taking a trade online right now. We had already the retracement, so it looks like this will hit for all-time high right now. So I'm not gonna take a trade. I will share in Discord if I see anything. I would love to have long it from the 1 hour for value gap. This was too high up for me to take that entry. So I wish you all a very great trading session. Thank you all for being here, like always. Monday, it's new trading session, 9 o'clock a.m. my time zone. So it's 1 UTC plus 1. And see you all back then. Have a great weekend, week, and rest of trading sessions.